They would have never in their fucking life got on that screen and asked Missy Elliott if she could fuck her baby daddy. Irregardless of whatever her preference is. They would have never did that. I don't think motherfuckers in this day and age would ask Trina that. I don't think they would have done it. Because there is a level of respect you have to work to maintain by controlling the narrative, controlling the crowd, controlling what people say. When a motherfucker say, you still think you can fuck your baby daddy? Put your hand up, like, don't talk to me like that. We don't talk like that. You're going to have to deal with people calling you a bitch or whatever, but it's like, somebody going to see that and be like, you know what? That's a lady, that's class. Alright, so Pete Game. My name is Nayim Edwards. Erica Banks. Let's talk about what happened on Revolt TV. I gotta holler at you. I gotta holler at everybody right now. Cause what happened on Revolt TV, let's just say it like this. A lot of stuff happened to the untrained eye and ear where I believe it's being misinterpreted for something else because they're seeing it through a consumer perspective, and we all know how things go on this side of the fence. I watched this interview twice, and before we get into what happened and how we can solve this and prevent it from happening again, it was hard to get through the interview. Her section was only 30 minutes. No question, no second thought that Erica Banks speaks well. You can tell she is a real bitch. You can tell that she's intelligent. You can tell that this is actually somebody you would want to hang out with if this was your homegirl or something. It's like your homegirl who got some fucking sense and she going somewhere. She just from the hood. You can tell that it's just what made it hard was the host or whatever. I just didn't think the platform served her. But let's get into the interview now. It starts off really good. It starts off with her talking about her upcoming project, you know, regular interview questions. She had a project, something about the Flow Queen. Can't remember it off the top of my head. I'll go look it up later. Now, what immediately happens, the first thing that happened that nobody's really saying and nobody probably caught is she threw a very slick, very fast, sharp jab at Megan Thee Stallion. When she brought up, she took the proper precautions in her legal work when she was over at 1501. And that was a question I had. Was she still over there with Carl Crawford? The answer is yes. She said she was signed for 2 years. And what she said again, that they asked the question was like, what, everything that happened with Megan Thee Stallion, did that prevent you from wanting to be over there? And she said, no, what's for them is them, what's for me is for me. And the jab itself was, I made sure I did what I was supposed to do and took the proper legal precautions. Now, as a consumer, you would hear that and be like, yeah, she did what she was supposed to do. She took the right legal steps. She went the right way. But we all know on this side that if I bring your legal matters up, pure indication of disrespect. It's not overt. It's not out there in your face. But it is disrespect nonetheless. But it was so fast that, again, the untrained eye and ear wouldn't have caught that. But they moved right past that because, you know, nobody was making it a big deal. Let me insert here that this was a controlled environment. People probably had to buy tickets. People were probably being screened because it wasn't like no excess noise. Nobody was reacting to what she was saying because they probably didn't know. You can tell it was just, this was like a staged type situation. She probably got the questions beforehand. Or a question I have, which is going to come up later, is she too much of a real bitch? Like, are you too much of a real bitch where you just let anybody just ask you anything and you just going off the top? Or did you say, you know, I'll take the questions and we'll look over and I'm going to answer them anyway? Whatever. We'll get to that later. So, interview continues to go pretty good. They talked about her daddy being a preacher. Positive. Very, very positive thing. Asked her if he supported. Like, yeah, she was surprised because he is a preacher. This is what I really want to say before we get into, obviously, the bullshit. As a woman in music, particularly black women in music, when you go and you look at her behavior and the great black women in music, and really any black woman who has sustained a career that's lasted and is impactful, there is a black man who knows what he's talking about behind her. If you want to be a great in your field, especially in this music shit, there is going to be a man. It has to be a black man with some fucking sense who know what he's talking about behind you. Whether you do music, whether you blog, whatever you do. And a lot of people like to act like that. That's not a true thing. There's not an example of a great black woman in music that didn't have a great black man behind her. I can give you a couple of very quick examples. Trick Daddy Trina, DMX Eve, QC, City Girls, Carl Crawford, 1501, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Aaliyah, R. Kelly Aaliyah, Just a Messenger. Name one. Ashanti with Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, Mary J. Blige, Diddy, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Griselda Blanco, and whoever the fuck that was that she was dating. You know what I'm saying? So, in order to be successful as a black woman in music, in the realm she wants to be successful. Now, we're not saying you can't be successful without the black man behind you. But what I am saying is it is guaranteed that if you have a black man behind you who know what the fuck they talking about, you will be successful. It's just a matter of time before you get to wherever you're trying to go. Cash Money, Young Money with Slim, Birdman, Baby, and Nicki Minaj and Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that. If you don't get nothing from this, take this. You have to have a black man who know what he's talking about behind you in order to be successful. There's no shortcut for that. There's no way to get around it. Now, it continued pretty good after that. Now, this is where it starts to get... She set herself into a crater where it was just like, it was kind of a dip, but it came back on a high, where she made mention that she was beating herself up and she was being real hard on herself about the progress she was making. But she felt good because in the past year, again, she's been over there at 1501 for 2 years, but in the past year, she's made a lot of good progress and she was proud of herself. Now you hear that and it's like, yeah, like this is a really good thing. Somehow, some way, they need to swing it back into the music, because she had to bring up the fact that she had a platinum record. She had to bring up the fact on her own that she, whatever happened, like she had the record busted before she even got on the label. She was sending her music on Instagram. Carl Crawford, I think is a good black man. Carl Crawford seen it, was listening to some other stuff, and wanted to sign her. She handled her business. But she was proud, which is something she should be. She made more progress. She was not at the same point she was last year as she was this year. Good. Now, that's supposed to be a high note, right? Immediately, swinging from I'm proud of myself, they come in with this Nicki Minaj shit. So, I guess what happened was she was asking about doing the remix, and somebody in the fucking comments was like, you should get Nicki Minaj. And something was said about, I don't know, people just, we're gonna have to talk about the people, those zombies in the fucking comments one day. But anyway, it was some weird ass comment that was made. Go look it up. I'm sure somebody else have probably said it. Weird ass comment. She just liked the comment. So Nicki Minaj blocked her and unfollowed her or whatever. Now, this is the point where I think that if there was not a live audience in front of her, she wouldn't have got as emotional as she got. I think she had a Freudian slip when she was saying that her feelings was hurt and it was the girls that can't really rap. That's who Nicki fuck with instead of coming over and fucking with her. Now you hear a female rapper, and I don't want to hear no shit about the term female. We got to communicate in the style where everybody can understand us. That's the term that she used. That's the term that we use. That's the term we use. That was a Freudian slip to me. I don't think she meant to say that, but she just couldn't control herself because it made her emotional, bringing up the fact that her favorite rapper rejected her, because that's what it was. And in the moment of getting rejected, she tells us, she wants to know, why you fucking with them people who can't really rap? I really rap. Like, she called herself the flow queen. This is when she should have wrangled this shit back in and made this about the music instead of making it about the feeling behind, oh, they can't rap or whatever. But we got to understand, this don't have nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. It's barely got anything to do with the other people out there. We all know people can do whatever they want to. This is about you feeling like, one, you got rejected, and we all know what rejection does. Rejection either makes you go harder or it completely crushes you and it takes you out of the prize and distracts you. Or you should have, what am I trying to say? You're probably upset because you have been working so hard and you feel like you need to be in a different place. You should be in a different place regardless of what obstacles you have. You were talking about being compared to other people. That's an obstacle. People don't understand that comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison can really keep you from shit. There are rumors that Nicki Minaj does XYZ behind the scenes. Oh shit. Whatever. I think I stepped on the cord or something. But there's rumors that she's done shit behind the scenes. This could have possibly been a career-ending move before you even got out the gate. Because I'm from the South. I know who Erica Banks is. You have a viral song, but niggas might not be able to put a name in the face to a viral song. You're hot down here. We know who you are down here. These other regions might not know you because these other regions have their own thing going on. This is why I say the word of the day is Freudian. It was a fucking mistake saying that, and not a mistake as in you didn't mean it. Because clearly, again, we can tell you a real bitch. We can tell that you meant what the fuck you said. I just don't think that this was the platform to say that, because this is not a platform that serves you. These people were asking all type of random stuff, like, and when you were having that high moment of I'm proud of myself, immediately interjected with fucking some beef, some old shit. Not that you don't have, you can talk about what you want to. Not that you shouldn't talk about it. However, my question would be, clearly you have good men behind you. You wouldn't be where you are if you didn't have good men behind you, point blank, period. I want to know, where is the man to tell you to wrangle your emotions in? This is why we need the men. Again, I don't think she would have did this if it wasn't a live audience. I don't think she would have did this. These motherfuckers wasn't egging her on. Talk about, say their name. Call them out. Why? You should never, as a female rapper that's coming up, it's not about kissing ass. It's not about whatever else motherfuckers you can inject, whatever words you want in there. It is about controlling the room, keeping the focus on you. When a motherfucker get out of line, wrangling them in. Because, like, I want to say that outside of this music shit, because whatever, music is entertainment, it's art, it's whatever, we understand. We know music is real. But female rap is different. And I don't want to hear nothing about that, because women and men are different. Especially in music, it is what it is. Women and men were never meant to be the same. You gotta move different than a man would because, niggas fight, niggas bicker, niggas beef all the time. When you coming up as a woman, career suicide. Speaking of somebody whose feature is like the Medal of Honor and this shit, career suicide. You don't want to kill yourself. You don't have to kiss ass. You don't have to suck dick. You don't have to do nothing. But you don't want outside voices throwing shit in the pot to try to make you speak in emotional terms, speak out of turn, say shit that you'll have to come back and apologize for. Again, she got real men, stand up men. You can tell, and you can always tell when women have had or have good men behind them. If you're not a good man, I don't want to be around you. I keep good men in my corner, in my counsel, because I know that is how I'm going to be successful, because we need each other. Point blank, period. Yeah, you can tell she a real bitch. I had a couple points I wanted to make, but again, I've said this about 4 or 5 times. She wouldn't have did that if it wasn't an audience, because she would have had a little bit more time to digest. And she was probably like looking in the crowd, and you can see it's kind of like, you want to kind of get reactions and stuff too, because you need to engage. And I don't even want to talk about Revolt and that silly ass shit that they was doing. Let's just hop into the solution of how we can prevent this from happening again. When you feel rejected, you need to check yourself. It's hard. You shouldn't have to. But if you want to operate in this ecosystem, you got to understand that everybody has their own ecosystem. This genre has their ecosystem. This subgenre has their own ecosystem. These people, that group, this organization, that gang, everybody has their own ecosystem. If you want to be in that ecosystem with them, where clearly the music is there, the image is there, everything is there, check yourself. Not in a negative way, but check yourself, because you're going to find out, and I'm sure you already know, as a female rapper, you're going to get a lot of rejection. You're going to get way more than a man will get, because you have to prove yourself as a female rapper, because a lot of the times the kind of rapper you are and the kind of rapper you want to be and the kind of rapper, the ecosystem you're trying to get into, men are not riding around to that. If you feature on a song with a hot male artist, they'll listen because you're on the song. But to get to that pinnacle where men will actually unprovokingly listen to you, the kind of men that will consume whatever. I don't want to get into that right now. But the kind of men you have around you, stand-up men, regular men on the street, gangster niggas, whatever you want to say, to get to that level, it's a lot of shit you're going to have to deal with. And it's a lot of rejection that's going to come with that. And you're going to have to check yourself every time you get rejected and not internalize that shit, because it's going to happen. It's going to keep happening. Whether, I don't want to get vulgar about it, whether it is a fucking producer saying, yeah, I'll give you 3 beats if you fuck me. If you know you're a woman of integrity, you're a woman of morals and scruples, and you stand for something and you believe in something and you say something and you stand in and you mean it, you might have to reject that past, and you might not ever get another beat from that man. But you got to understand that is just what you're going to have to do in order to maintain your name, because that's how it's going to be great. I'm going to finish this last point, then we're going to do some notes. Controlling the fucking narrative. They would have never in their fucking life got on that screen and asked Missy Elliott if she could fuck her baby daddy. Irregardless of whatever her preference is. They would have never did that. I don't think motherfuckers in this day and age would ask Trina that. I don't think they would have done it. Because there is a level of respect you have to work to maintain by controlling the narrative, controlling the crowd, controlling what people say. When a motherfucker say, you still think you can fuck your baby daddy? Put your hand up, like, don't talk to me like that. We don't talk like that. you're going to have to deal with people calling you a bitch or whatever. But it's like, somebody going to see that and be like, you know what? That's a lady. That's class. I can respect her because she's not going to get up here and do that. Now, the shit you rap about, even if they ask you, for real, like real talk, think about this shit. Even if they asked you, can you still fuck your baby daddy? When you get questions like that, you need to wrangle that shit back to the music. Motherfuckers want to know about your personal life, but if you want to spill your personal life, get a fucking YouTube channel. Like, can you still fuck your baby daddy? Well, I talk about it on this song, and but I don't really feel like that, or I feel like that. And then she don't even have no fucking kids, and she's 23 years old. So a baby daddy shouldn't even come up. She don't fucking know what it's like to have a baby daddy. She says she got a dog with her ex, and they still cool. So this already tells you that this is a civil woman. She can still be cool with a man from the past or whatever. But whatever. There's a lot of this shit. It was hard to fucking digest. It was hard to look at. The shit is goofy as fuck. It makes me ask, touching on it, because we're going to talk about this later. One, these random ass people in the comments. It was a random motherfucker in the crowd, which very good example of crowd control, because she did have very good crowd control. She speaks like this is somebody you would actually listen to when she talk. Like, she's very quick with it. I could throw this in there if nobody knew. She went to nursing school before she was rapping. She said it was got too hard for her. She was real good at this. And it's crazy because she said it was the math, but I think, another fucking video, I think that music is math. It's all math. But whatever. Motherfucker in the crowd, would you ever do a song with Megan? And she's like, yeah, for the right price. Because I'm a businesswoman. See, that's how you fucking answer a question. Not all this other goofy. I mean, they ask some goofy shit. That's why I don't, whatever. I'm not here to do that. But like, it was just so much nonsense in there. And it's just like, people want to know about you, but I don't think that was the platform for niggas to get to know you, because it was all over the place. She had a stand-up moment when the lady on the show was like, respect black women. And she was like, yeah, that bullshit. And then she talked about she don't want fake support from people just because she black. I get that. I understand that you don't want the fake support, but the crowd that you were serving, they didn't hear that, because now they're getting rowdy. It's like, oh my God, and they're going to call you this for having an opinion. They're going to call you that. But she handled it well. Like I said, the solution to this, just get out in front of it. Shut your fucking mouth. Don't say nothing. The best thing is to just let shit rock. Don't say nothing about nobody. I would get in these fucking interviews. I don't have nothing for nobody else. And if it is, wrangle it back to your music. Any crazy scant question they ask, it needs to wrangle back to music. Because why are you there if we're not talking about music? You talking about being respected. You call yourself the flow queen. That means you want to be respected. So if you want to be respected, you got to control these motherfuckers. That's just what it is. I deal with female rappers that want to come out and be developed all the time. And a lot of the times, they don't understand that having control over the narrative, over what is said, over what you say is the most important thing. So, other than that, man, I'm going to go listen to some of her music, because I've never heard her talk before this interview. I'm never really interested, but I think people just interpreted this as hating. I just think she had a little slip up. It wasn't too crazy, because she didn't really say nothing that was crazy. She did say that her feelings was hurt, but again, the men around her need to, put her on the bench for a few minutes and wrangle that in, because that's not going to be helpful for the future. All right, I'm about to get out of here. I will holler at you next time.